So it seems Roblox has just gone out of the way to permanently erase a piece of its own history by deleting the oldest surviving classic page on the entire website after people started talking about it online. Mind you, it was literally just a completely harmless web page that sat around for over a decade without causing any problems until the corporation suddenly decided to pull the plug and turned it into a generic 404 page. Now, this whole situation started when a user on Twitter named Henry bought the classic famous upgrades page that somehow survived all the massive website updates over the years. When you clicked on a specific link that he shared, it would take you straight to a nostalgic page featuring that classic builder guide and all that cool stuff. Henry even tried to beg the Roblox Corporation to keep the page up because it was essentially the last surviving memory of the classic era that players could still visit and experience for themselves without having to use an archive website. Now, the crazy thing about this whole situation is that this page was not really a brand new discovery because it was actually found years ago and was already well known by a lot of older players in the community. Content creators on YouTube like SharkBlogs literally made an entire video covering the oldest abandoned page on the website around 3 years ago, where he showed off this exact same page to over 100,000 people. And even after that, the page managed to stay completely untouched and perfectly safe for years because the corporation clearly did not care about it or even realize it was still active on the whole website. Because this tweet by Henry started getting a lot of traction and pulling in tons of views on Twitter, unfortunately this page was wiped away from the internet in just a single day after the link was shared to the wider public. You honestly have to wonder if David Bajussi was sitting at his desk and had a heart attack when he saw one little tiny piece of Roblox nostalgia on his timeline and immediately screamed at his executives to get rid of it as fast as possible before the investors saw it. And I'm talking about the investors who haven't already panicked sold by now. I mean, it's literally just a fun classic old page, and David Bajussi basically says, nope, can't have that anymore. The corporation acted like this was some kind of giant security breach that needed to be neutralized immediately, even though nobody had a single problem with it, and people were literally begging them to leave it alone for the sake of good memories. The fact that Roblox moved so fast to nuke a beloved piece of nostalgia history from their platform really goes to show exactly where the priorities are right now and how backwards the entire moderation system operates. We see countless situations where actual inappropriate games with generally harmful communities are allowed to stay up on the platform for months or even years, while players constantly report them and beg the moderators to take action to protect kids online. There are bad actors getting away with breaking the rules and running games that are literally unsafe for everyone, yet the moderation team, or should I say AI moderation, somehow takes forever to investigate those serious issues while turning a blind eye to the actual damage being done. But the exact second that an innocent relic from the past starts getting a little bit of positive traction on Twitter, the company suddenly has the infinite resources and lightning speed to snap their fingers and permanently remove it from existence in under 24 hours. It is so baffling to watch them scramble to fix a harmless nostalgia page while completely ignoring the deeply rooted problems that are literally making the platform a worse place for everybody who actually plays the games every single day. This entire chain of events really forces us to talk about the unfortunate reality that if this person had never brought the link up to the public in the first place, Roblox probably would have never noticed it and the page would still be perfectly intact today. It's a pretty harsh lesson for the community that things are honestly just better off remaining secret if you want them to survive the relentless monetization of the website. Whenever somebody finds a cool glitch or stumbles upon a leftover piece of the classic era that somehow survived the corporate scrubbing, sharing it online is basically signing a death warrant for that exact discovery because the company is always watching and waiting to pull the plug on anything that their history was about. We used to be able to share fun little secrets with each other without worrying that the executives would swoop in and ruin the fun, but now it feels like any kind of innocent discovery has to be hidden away in private friend groups just to keep it safe. The community essentially handed the corporation the exact path to one of the last good things left in the old days, and the company did exactly what everyone feared they would do by deleting it without a single ounce of hesitation. This whole situation even further shows that it's clearly obvious that you simply cannot even trust the corporation itself to preserve a single piece of its own history because they're literally obsessed with appealing to all the modern stuff and making everything look as professional as possible. They do not care that millions of players grew up looking at that specific nostalgia page, or that the community holds a deep emotional attachment to the old aesthetic of the website for back when things were much simpler and focused on being able to make things in general. And it seems to the executives running it all right now that anything that looks like it was made before the current era is just an ugly stain on their brand new metaverse vision that needs to be scrubbed away with a generic error page so they can pretend the past never even happened. You think that a company worth billions of dollars could easily afford to leave a single dead web page running on a dusty server as a tiny little museum sort of piece for the fans who stuck around for over a decade, but apparently that is just asking way too much from a corporation that only cares about pushing forward and never looking back. We have permanently lost one of the coolest little secrets that the platform had left to offer because the executives are completely terrified of looking unpolished in front of the people funding them. But this sort of scramble to keep the website looking like a flawless corporate product actually makes a lot of sense when you see the massive legal trouble they're hiding behind the scenes. To find out exactly what this brand new lawsuit just leaked about the company, click the video on the left right now.